August the 12th, 11 days in count until squirrel season opens here in the mighty state of Tennessee. It was CZ457 there with that Lilja aftermarket barrel 17HM2. Now, hands of a professional, this gun is probably as good a one shot per squirrel shot getter I've ever seen in my damn life. Alright. That's no joke. Let me turn this camera on. We're going to talk a little bit more here about squirrel hunting. Alright. Now what I'm going to talk about here can apply to leaves off, but it applies more probably per situation to leaves on. When you see a squirrel and you got a good shooting rifle like I do you always want to try to get closer to the squirrel? It depends. Conditions could drive your judgment and your viewability. So what you have to do when you locate a squirrel or squirrels with leaves on, now you can see a limb shake and you might see glimpses of the squirrel, but you can't see him good enough to shoot him. You got a pretty good idea of where he's at or what general area he's in. So what you got to start doing is you got to figure an angle of attack, meaning an angle of a shot. And this ain't easy to do till you get real good at it with experience. So you have to judge the landscape, the tree layout, the limbs, and you have to try to go to that spot thinking, okay, I'll be able to see the tree they're eating in here. Now, do I get it right all the time? Nope. Do I get it right a lot of the times? Yep. I have been in situations where it was so bad that I had to get under the tree they were eating. And if you've ever been under a hickory or a beech tree, when the squirrels are eating, but generally you won't have this around a beech tree because a beech tree, a big beech tree, generally you won't see a tree growing close to it hardly. But hickories, oaks, chances are they'll be smaller, not as old, not as big. So you may have to go under the tree and shoot practically straight up sometimes. Well, that's a joy right there. Trust me. That's one of the hardest shot squirrels because the squirrel can be sitting up there eating and that old limb's between you and he. So you got to pick your spot. Where are you going to go? And then after that, you got to figure out what's the best way to get there without making as much noise. Now here's the dilemma you can run into. Speed does matter. Time matters. So you might take the scenic route to get to your spot, we'll call it, a longer track. You'll make less noise, but you're taking more time. Or you may take a shorter route, make a little bit more noise, and get there faster. Both ways can have advantage. But a lot of times, if the tree's got a lot of squirrels in it, a lot of eyes up there, they're harder to outsmart. Meaning, you might take the short route. So that's what you have to get You got to get in the game. That's what you got to get good at in the squirrel woods, okay? I'm not talking about shooting down squirrels off of damn feeders, out from behind damn waist-high blinds, okay, off of trigger sticks. I'm not talking about that bullshit. That's not damn hunting. You might as well take a damn shotgun and go to a damn turkey shoot as to do that bullshit. You know, pour out some damn corn. Yeah, I've seen that bullshit. So there's a lot of decision making you've got to make squirrel hunting. You see that? It keeps your mind busy. You got to find them or you got to hear them. And then you got to get into position. And then you got to execute the shot. And with a rifle, I make do with either a shooting stick I've got with me. Now, it's a funny looking shooting stick. A lot of people wouldn't take what I take to the woods. But I'm going to tell you something, boy, that's the best thing since sliced bread, because I can lean it up against a tree and shoot off it that way. And I do that a lot. I get in a position and get set down. Lean that thing up against a tree 45, 60 degrees and throw that gun up on there and go to work on that head. That's what I try to shoot. Most of the time, heads. Sometimes I won't shoot the head. Most of the times I will. Have I let squirrels go because I didn't get a headshot? Yes, quite a few actually. Knowing how to look at the landscape you have to track over and judge it for difficulty, for noise, is another thing you got to consider. You don't want to start walking on it and figure out, uh-oh. It's better if you can judge it before you go through there, so you take the best route, huh? Well, that takes a little getting used to. Some trees, some tree limbs in the woods are different, harder to slip on. I have went away from a squirrel in a tree. After getting up close, or closer, I've actually backed up several feet to yards and then execute the shot. But see, it's hard for me to show all of this when I'm hunting with a camera. All right? And naturally, you get good at shooting heads on a squirrel, taking a damn deer rifle, center fire, shooting an old buck in the side at what, 200 yards? It's like a damn taking candy from a damn baby. It's easy peasy. Looks like you're shooting the side of a Greyhound bus. So there is some benefit. And you've got these warriors out there, you know, they'll pick their deer rifle up the weekend before season opens or the day before, shoot it 2 or 3 times, and they're ready to go. You know, I got a gentleman a few years older than me. I put his ass on a big buck. And he's one of these guys that shoots his gun a couple times before season. He don't handle a gun much all year long. He's one of the nicest guys you ever met. Got a lot of respect for him, and he got this old buck up on him, and he was in a shooting house, and he missed him with a 30-06. I told him, I said, get you a .22 rifle. At about 8 weeks before deer season opens, try to get out once a week with a scope. And get used to getting that scope on a target. Point, I said, you don't even have to shoot the gun. pick you something out. He's got a hill behind his house. It's pretty steep. I said, pick you out something up there about 150 yards and get that scope on it. You see, I'm better with a scope at getting on quarry than I am a set of binoculars. I'm slow with binoculars because I don't use binoculars like I use that rifle scope. I can get on something fast with that rifle scope. And if you can get on a damn squirrel in the woods fast with a scope, you can get on a buck deer real fast. You see how that works? So you going out shooting in these fixed distance little rifle ranges, some of you all, what you need to do is you need to take your gun with a scope, go where you can see. You see how far? It's 300 all the way up there at the edge of them woods. Pick you out something on that hill like I'm standing right here. Even if you want to use the gun from a rested position, learn how to get that object you're looking at with your eye in that scope. When you're deer hunting, time is of the essence. Every damn millisecond with a big buck can matter. So handling a rimfire, even an air gun, with a scope. And if you want to get your skills better with a pair of binoculars, do the same thing with those. Again, if you're hunting a trophy deer, being able to use those binoculars faster, better, faster, might make all the difference in the world. Time, you don't get time back. Oh, smart buck can snort and be gone, be standing flat-footed and be gone in a New York damn second. You don't have any damn warning, and if you'd have been faster, you would have got on him and kaboom! So yeah, you got to get the scope on the critter. And then you got to execute after you get on there. So it's all practice, okay? If you do the right things. If you don't do anything at all, then you're one of these weekend before deer hunters, you pick your damn gun up, well, you're going to get probably what you deserve, okay? I got quite a bit of trigger time in this summer, but I didn't shoot no firearm much. I shot this damn Impact M4, okay? I got a pair of them. But I've got the trigger time in. I've got getting that object in the scope. Did a little groundhog hunting. I've looked at some longer range, 200, 203. You see that old dead ash right up yonder, boys? About 203 yards. Right in there it is, 203. You wouldn't believe old air rifle I got reach that damn thing, would you? So when you're out there in them old squirrel woods, you know, think about what you're doing and watch for them damn copperheads and rattlesnakes. Boys, they're bad here this year. For you folks out there that are squirrel hunting and you have very little experience with rattlesnakes, I'm going to give you this one grand piece of advice. Don't trust your ears if one rattles. Only trust your eyes as to whereabouts of that snake. You hear a rattlesnake rattle in the woods, unless you've walked across a log, if you haven't, you need to stop and go backwards. You don't dare walk forwards, or you don't dare hear that snake rattling thinking, well, he's over here. I hear him rattling. I'm going to step over this way and go by him. Well, you may step right on that damn thing. How do you think a rattlesnake hunts its quarry? A damn rabbit. don't even know where that snake's at when it rattles, just like I don't. I done been through this. Oh yeah, I hear him rattling. But I can't point my finger as to where that snake is exactly. If I do, I'm in error. How do you think that rattlesnake gets to jump on a damn rabbit, squirrel? That's how they do it. They confuse them too. So they're looking for the snake in one area, and then he is striking. As he strikes, by the time the little critter like a squirrel or rabbit figures it out, it's too damn late. The snake has made contact with those fangs. So that's the best advice I can give you. If you're in the woods and you hear a damn rattlesnake rattle, and now if you've walked over a big log, I don't really know what to tell you to do. Because you may have stepped over him. He may be on the other side of the log, so if you back across that, you could get bit. But if you've not walked over a big rock or a rock of size or a log and you hear one rattle, you need to put the damn brakes on and you need to slowly back up.